Well, here we are again in the home gym, again determined to get back into the groove of things when it comes to fitness. It feels like my fourth or fifth time making a video like this, and it's kind of crazy because I've really never expected this for myself. Fitness has always been such a big part of my life since I got into it in my senior year of high school. Loved it. It's been main staple in my life. Now it just feels like the biggest hurdle to want to go to the gym. My career has progressed over the last 18 months, new job, moving out of the apartment into my parents' house, into this house, renovating Alex's house, getting engaged, renovating this house. Like, there's just been so much going on. And then the start of 25, I'm like, all right, this is the perfect time to get back into it now. And again, it's just been a struggle traveling with work. There's just been so many different life adversities that have occurred that I really thought I'd always be able to overcome. And I think part of the problem is I expected myself to do it. I relied on myself to do it. The craziest point in my life when it came to fitness was college. I was working full-time, going to school full-time, and I competed 3 times a year in powerlifting. And I always gave myself the credit, but I didn't realize that I always prayed for discipline, for focus, for motivation, and that all pushed me through that period of my life. God is the main source of my strength. Instead of giving him honor, I took it for myself, and I realized that I stayed in that mindset. So I've been very humbled throughout this last 2 years. I'm grateful for what I was able to accomplish before, and I know I can do it again, but this time I'm gonna, give honor where honor is due. So I'm very excited to get back into it now, fresh mindset, remembering who it was that helped me become so successful, and that was Jesus. And so I'm excited to reinvigorated with this fresh perspective, which was the original perspective I should have had. Coming back, one thing that I think people always kind of overdo is they try to get right back into their old routine, their old diet, caloric deficit, your cardio levels. And although that's good intentioned, I think when your body's not primed and ready for that, it can actually be more detrimental. The thing you got to remember is at a certain point when training kind of fell out of your normal routine, you were still primed. Even if you were inconsistent, used to that diet, used to that training, used to the cardio, the calories. If you've been off plan for months or years and you jump right back into it with that same mindset and your body's not ready for it, it'll take you longer to recover. You'll feel worse. And then on top of that, you're going to compare yourself to where you are now to where you were when you were at your peak. There's a huge disparity there, right? You're going to be discouraged. I know that's the biggest struggle I have is I look at my old videos of where I was at in my prep and I'm like, well, I look nothing like that. I have 50 pounds of extra fat on me right now. My goal for this year was to be 185 pounds by Easter and for the wedding, and that was a ginormous failure. I was 237 2 days ago, down to 230. I've done these big cuts before. It's kind of become my main bread and butter, unfortunately. I say it unfortunately because nobody wants to gain a bunch of weight that they didn't plan to, right? And I've done that multiple times. Here we are, third time's a charm. Let's keep it off. Frustrated with myself for sure. There's always the comparison of what we see on social media. Fitness influencers, at the end of the day, they are professionals in fitness. It is their job. It is their career. It is really hard to compare yourself to that. You may have a 9 to 5 just like me. Your time is so limited. You got life, family, work, all these things that take away from fitness, and obviously prioritizing it, sleeping earlier to get up earlier to train in the morning. Maybe you got to train late at night. It does take a lot of energy to do that no matter what. Trying to remind myself, give myself some grace on that. Another thing that's super important is remembering to keep your ego in check too. Giving your chance to rebuild everything, looking at your technique on bench, on squat, whatever it may be. It gives you a chance to kind of really fine tune that. Also, I'm giving myself a chance to experiment with training. So right now I'm doing some German volume training, 10 by 10, and I'm doing that on bench. So it's giving me 100 reps to dial in my technique to practice. On top of that, German volume training is a lot more intense and typically requires a lot more calories. But because I'm fat and I'm trying to work off these extra calories, I'm adding in more volume. I'm letting my body adjust to it by the fact that I'm doing a lesser weight. I'm not trying to do 10 by 10 with 225. I'm letting myself take a step back, dial in a new training style, and see how my body progresses in its current state with its different training styles. Plus, you have to remember, it's super beneficial to be able to make a lot of progress before you make a lot of changes. If I can get away with 100 reps on pause bench press and just one accessory movement to build strength, make gains, see changes in my body, why wouldn't I ride that wave as long as possible before I have to add in another exercise or another 2 exercises, increase my volume or decrease my calories? These are all the things you want to think about as you get back into it, because if you come out 10 movements, 100 reps each movement, you're gonna fry your CNS. You're gonna have to do crazy exercises for long periods of time in order to make continued progress, unless you're enhanced. And if you're enhanced, you're able to recover quicker, make progress no matter what you do. You might not even have to train and you can make progress. But for Shaboy, that's not the case. I'm extra fluffy, so I'm gonna get the most I can out of making small changes. It's basically giving myself an opportunity to make beginner gains again. Because basically right now, I'm kind of playing with house money. I have 20 pounds loaded up for this cable crossover. This used to be a warm-up. I mean, realistically, this is still probably going to be a warm-up, and I'll hit 25 reps on this. However, this is going to actually be beneficial to me even right now. I'll be able to make gains off this. I'm gonna be focusing on my form, dialing it in, really getting that squeeze, and that way when I hit 20, then 30, then 40 pounds, eventually, when I'm working my way back up to 70, 80, 90, I'm gonna be putting on even more tissue, even more density, because I'll finally be overexerting my muscle the way I used to when I was in the middle of prep. Just be happy you're in the gym and training again. And that's what I'm telling myself. And some days it's gonna be hard. Some days it's gonna be really easy to train. But the point is I have to show up, I have to be here, because that's what will benefit me the most and will ensure that I'm gonna make the progress that I want to. The honeymoon is in 69 days. Gonna be in Hawaii for that. So I wanna get in shape for that. I wanna look good. This is the journey back. Drop a quick 60 pounds. It won't be quick, but we're gonna drop 60 pounds. We're gonna feel good. We're gonna put on some muscle mass. And ultimately, the thing that I remind myself the most, and you should too if you're in a similar position to me, is that you didn't lose all your progress overnight, so you're not gonna get it all back overnight. And to just have fun with the training, because training's meant to be fun. Don't make it a stressful thing. That'll be it for this video. Hopefully there will be more videos of just documenting the progress and not, hey, I'm starting over again. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to format this series, this comeback, if you will. Maybe like weekly episodes that document a whole week. Let me know what you think, comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the post notifications, send the video to a friend. You know the drill. But most importantly, don't forget to have a great day or night. Don't forget to keep God number one. God bless.